Hey guys, I'm just about to interview Chris van Hooydonk from Backyard Farm Chef's Table. This guy is amazing, the real deal, the real definition of farm to table. I'm going to show you a little bit of the 2-acre farm here and we're going to have a chat with him. Come on in.
You said you want to play your game. You dealt me in, I said I'll pick it up, it's all the same. But don't follow all the rules.
Well, cheers, Chris.
Cheers.
Hey everyone, it's Steph Petrie from Remax Little Oak with another episode of Forever Home in the South Okanagan. I'm here with Chris van Hooydonk from Backyard Farm Chef's Table. You may be following him on social media already. If you're not, I'm going to post the Instagram location for you here so you can check them out and see what they're doing. But I've been super excited about this interview. I've been following Chris and his wife and team here and what they're doing with Chef's Table. So tell me a little bit about what brought you back to Osoyoos after working with the Four Seasons.
Yeah, well, I really want to feel a little bit more of a connection to the community. Although I appreciated working in such a high-end hotel establishment and getting some corporate experience, it was very critical for me to get back down to really the roots of food culture. And although the budget was pretty much unlimited and I got exposed to some very amazing cuisine and fantastic people in a great city, there was something missing there. And as a BC boy, where I graduated and most of my career was situated, I really felt that I needed to make my way back here and plant some roots down. So I was actually called back here by a mentor of mine, Chef Bernard Cassavant, to be the restaurant chef at Burrowing Owl Estate Winery, which we overlook actually out our dining room. And after 2 years as restaurant chef, I became the executive chef. And shortly thereafter, my wife and I decided to pursue my dream, which has ended up being Backyard Farm Chef's Table. So it was really about the connection to food and wine, all being immersed in it. And I also really was starting to feel that there was a palpable change and a huge amount of growth and potential just for this region in the South Okanagan. And I really want to come and be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You were talking about putting down roots. This 2-acre property you're on, I was reading about all the different fruits and vegetables that you can harvest right here on your own property, and you work that into your amazing cuisine. What are you harvesting right now? Well,
we're right into our mid and late season peaches right now. We've got some of our heritage apples are coming on. Our quints are sizing up really nicely. Some table grapes, nectarines are kind of on their last little bit, and then Italian plums, and heavy into root vegetables. So heirloom carrots, beets. We're starting to see lots of peppers, hot peppers. So a wealth of things. But what's really amazing is that, you know, farm to table as a structure in dining or a marketing tool, for example, especially in our immediate area, has been such a big thing. We're actually bringing the table to the farm rather than the farm to the table. And the ability for my wife to live her passion every day, which is being mom, as well as being the gardener and the farmer and the person that grows the flowers for the table, is amazing, being able to attach that to the career that I've been doing for 25 years and doing it in a way that's much more fulfilling and driven towards what we want out of a lifestyle.
Yeah, I noticed your wife, Mikkel, and your daughters playing with the chickens. So you have chickens here on the farm as well, and you harvest their eggs, I'm assuming, for
we
some
do,
of your
yep.
cuisine?
We actually discovered now, I guess, 7 years ago that chickens perform quite an amazing duty on a farm like this. And because we are practicing organic and doing things as naturally as we can, we're not certified, of course, as our neighbors are not that own the vineyard. But chickens not only fertilize and eat the culls that fall on the ground, but they lay the most beautiful eggs, and they're fantastic for pest control. So things like cherry fruit fly, we've discovered that chickens and a flock of heritage breed chickens will decimate that issue within a matter of years, as the larvae can live in the ground for up to 7 years. So a little interesting fact that besides the delicious eggs, they're very, very interesting to watch. In fact, we find a lot of people enjoy them as entertainment value while they're sitting out on the patio enjoying their bubbles. And for us also, being able to have farm fresh eggs for our dining facility and for our catering is pretty fantastic. There's nothing like it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're talking about your dining room and your facility right here, and you were saying some people would love you to open things up and have a more public environment. But tell me a little bit about the intention around an intimate setting, a private dining experience.
I felt, especially after my time at the winery, that there was a link in the culture of dining that was challenging here, and a lot of that has to do with the seasonality, which again, as I discussed when I moved back here in 2007 from Boston, I was starting to feel the change happening and the growth was going to be coming, more winery restaurants and such. But we're still finding that there's 5 or 6 months of the year that are crazy busy, and everybody is, their doors are blown off, and there's way more visitors than there is ability to host them, especially through COVID and especially with the hospitality crisis we're facing. I really wanted, set all of that aside, to have a space where we offered a very exclusive and tailored approach to food and dining, that I wanted our guests to be immersed in not only what we're doing, what we're preparing, and where we're sourcing our ingredients, if not from our farm, but our responsible farming partners as well, but feel a connection to myself and my family and our farm. So for me, it was more about, I guess, tailoring our lifestyle around my career, but doing it in a way where we're creating memories rather than just offering a place for people to come and eat. That we wanted it to be an experience rather than sustenance, and that if we do that, and we do it in an exclusive way, that in my mind, it was that we would have the opportunity to be much more year-round viable, although not as accessible perhaps as some people would like us to be, and that I get to cook whatever I wish. So on any given week, like this week for example, we've got a winery event tomorrow night for Checkmate Winery here. We've got a event for 43 people at Little Engine Winery in Naramata on Saturday night. Tonight we've got a dinner for 8. Last night we had a dinner for 20 that was hosted by Fairview Cellars. Every menu is different, and it's whatever is coming that's fresh and highest quality. So to be honest, it's a little bit of a selfish approach as well, that I don't want to cook the same menu for 4 months anymore, and that I really want to connect with people and give them the opportunity to feel more connected to their food. I think that it's just going to help the industry grow. It's going to help farm culture, and also potentially bring back a little bit of balance to the wine side versus the culinary side in our region. I think it goes without saying that we probably have 90% vineyard land here, and our food system and food security is getting more and more scarce. That I'd like in some small way to educate and acquaint people with the importance of recognizing where your food is coming from, who's growing it, and who's preparing it. So that was kind of the catalyst for it all. And the reality was that we also wanted to start a family, and I felt that the career that I had chosen, that I'm so passionate about, didn't necessarily give me the means to be the father and the husband that I wanted to be. I still work more hours than I ever have, but I do it from home, and my kids get to come and spend 4 or 5 hours down at work. I'm much more happy and feeling much more inspired with what I'm doing, albeit when the season is over in the summer with the full-time work on our 2-acre farm that we do all the work ourselves. I'm about cashed, that's for sure, ready for a bit of a break.
Are your girls showing any interest?
They are, yeah. They love the gardening aspect. They're definitely what you'd consider farm kids. They don't mind getting their hands dirty. They definitely help Mummy with harvesting of the ingredients for the day's menu. They love chasing the chickens around.
Notice that.
Really are connected with food, so they have an understanding at a young age of eating well and proper sourcing. We don't eat fast food. We don't support commodity production in any way. So really encouraging them to eat healthy and ask those questions, and being connected to the farm. It goes without saying that they're seeing everything from, sprout or blossom to, 2-pound peaches on our organic trees that they get to enjoy. I mean, it's living a dream as far as I'm concerned. So it's really been, after 25 years, I can honestly say that there is nothing that I would change. That I still wish I had more time in a day, but I go to sleep every night tired, but very fulfilled, and feeling like I'm giving the best opportunity for a bright future for my kids and my family and my staff, for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of staff, COVID has obviously been incredibly difficult on the hospitality industry. That was an industry I was in many years ago and loved it myself. So what is something you think that the general public isn't aware of, the challenges that that you face as a business owner, but the hospitality industry in general, the shortage of workers, and so on?
I think we have a very unique situation here in the South Okanagan, and being that you're in real estate, you'll be able to appreciate that, through COVID, not only was it challenging with the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of the restrictions and limitations on the hospitality industry, what we can and can't do, the shutdowns and so on, but setting that aside, the real estate market went crazy here. The affordability to buy a home, let alone the availability of renting a home when you're looking to hire people in May or June, has become next to impossible. And I think our biggest challenge is housing, because whether or not you have interested people that want to join your team, if they don't have a place to live, and it's an impossibility. For a small business like mine, we can't afford to buy a staff house. We don't necessarily want staff living on site, as this is an extension of our home as well, and we like our privacy, and everybody needs their space. But I would like to see those challenges overcome. And I think the second side of that is that there's definitely been a huge shift in the old school approach to working. You hear a lot about chefs that feel like they've been working themselves to death, that, the long hours and the weekends and the evenings have grown tiresome for many. It is also a large reason why I want to take control of my own destiny, because that isn't necessarily healthy. On the other side, I feel like for all the negative shifts that COVID has brought so much more awareness to the effort that it takes to be in the hospitality industry, that the tolerance and the patience we all need to have for short staffing means that these opportunities that didn't exist during COVID shutdowns or lockdowns are now back, that we need to be respectful and appreciative that we've got these opportunities to enjoy winery visits and restaurant visits again, but there are limitations, and that we have to be patient and understanding that there's only so much that hospitality can do. The alternate to that also, or the other bonus, I guess, the positive side, is that people seem to have, generally speaking, a lot more appreciation and understanding for food, where it's coming from, and the effort in preparing it, because for months and months we all had to cook at home, that we didn't have that opportunity, or the takeout model, took off. And I feel like there's a lot more appreciation for the industry. I also feel that there's a lot less intake of people that are interested in following this career journey, which I would like to see, again, in my small way, to inspire people for the ability we have to really make people happy through food, through our skills, and through our stories and our mentorship. So I've always been one to share mentorship and, state and implore my peers and colleagues to understand that the future of the industry is based on positive and encouraging mentorship, and that the pan-throwing angry chefs of the past don't really have a place in the kitchen anymore. And now that there's more open kitchen facilities, there's also the ability for chefs to recognize that everything you do is being watched, and that there is so much more benefit to having positivity and understanding that the teaching side of our industry is what's going to carry us through to the next phase of what it's going to be.
Absolutely. So for those that are now super excited to find out a little bit more about what you do and want to engage with you to maybe book an event or something like that, I'm sure they have to know in advance and plan with you and talk about a menu and so on. So what do people typically do? Go to the website and reach out to you that way?
Our tailored approach means that we can host currently up to 20 guests. We only do one private booking a day, usually 4 days a week. We are booked very far in advance, typically for peak season. In fact, right now for August of 2022, we only have 2 dates available for that entire month. So that being said, from the very beginning of the booking process, we feel that that personal approach is the way that we would like to do business, that really engaging from the beginning of the process and making it feel like it is your evening or afternoon is what we're going for. So you send us an email, we send you the pricing package about a week in advance. I send the menus because, especially this time of the year, things change quickly with the produce availability, and I want to capitalize on what my fishmonger has coming in fresh that week, or my free-range ethical meat suppliers got coming in that he's excited about, or what we've got ready to harvest on the farm, or what's not available anymore. So I'll send the menu with wine pairing varietal suggestions for each course that you bring along with you. So again, it's my way of encouraging clients to go out in our community and shop spend their money, go and enjoy some of the wineries in the area. There's just so many to explore.
Absolutely.
And get out there and see how many amazing people there are that have got businesses and wineries, are encouraging growth in our area. So what we suggest is to get in touch with us first. We can give you available dates. The alternate to that is that we've also got some amazing winery partners and distillery partners that we do dinners with in representing their brands that we'll post on the events page. So for groups of 2 or 4, for example, that don't want to rent the entire space for the evening or afternoon, our distillery and winery partners sell tickets to the public. For example, as I'd mentioned, we have a Checkmate dinner tomorrow night here and one at Little Engine. They sell the tickets, we'll prepare the food and pair with their wines, and you can get 2 seats or 4 seats or 6 seats and enjoy our food off-site or on occasion on-site as well. There's a couple of different opportunities, but at this point we don't foresee being open for public reservations nightly, as that's just not really what I want to do.
Yeah.
And we are seeing about 85 to 90% return clients, and it's made our schedule very full. As of April 15th, we were fully booked until November as it is now. So we anticipate about a 1-year waiting list.
That's amazing.
Thank
For
you.
those of you who want to become part of the recurring client fans of Backyard Farm Chef's Table with Chris and team, go to the website, have a look. As he was mentioning, there's a number of different winery and distillery partners that you could potentially check out one of his events with. Thanks again for meeting with me.
My pleasure.
This has been Steph again with another episode of Forever Home in the South Okanagan. Have a great day.
Thank you.